March 11th is World Delirium Day, and I'm here at Grand River Hospital with Chantelle and Mary, who work in the medicine program here at the hospital. So we're celebrating World Delirium Day, which I'm so excited that even exists. Mary, why do you think we need a World Delirium Day?
Well, I think it's really important, especially from an acute care setting, to realize that length of stay increases by 50% when we don't prevent or recognize the signs and symptoms of delirium. And it's a great opportunity to educate people within our facility and also families.
Absolutely. And Chantelle, you work on the front line with families. So what do you tell them what do you tell them to do so they can help prevent a delirium?
Great question, Nicole. I think really when we're talking about families, we want to engage them in the process. What we know is that families play a huge role in helping to prevent delirium in hospital, in addition to the work that staff does to recognize early warning signs, high risk factors for acquiring delirium, and interventions that we can all be involved in to help with that process, such as even things as simple as providing some cognitive stimulation, engagement with our patients at the bedside, assisting them to maintain their function. Very simple, yet instrumental in prevention.
Yeah. And what would you say, a lot of people think that they're in the hospital to kind of rest and stay in bed all the time, but when it comes to delirium, that's not true, right?
Yeah, it's not great at all, and that's why we have such a great unit called the ACE unit, Acute Care for the Elderly unit, which has some really specific environmental things that we've included to help prevent with that delirium and get people up out of bed, into the kitchen, sitting at a table like they would at home, because of course our goal is always that they would return to the location that they came from.
Yeah. And I think the hospital, I've noticed there's visitors all the time at the hospital. Like it used to be visiting hours. And why do you think that is?
I think we recognize that the importance of that role of visitors coming into the hospital, providing the socialization, providing the engagement. So I know we've done a lot of work to stop that sort of restriction on when that visiting can occur, and encouraging families, friends, loved ones to be with their loved ones when they're in the hospital.
And speaking of restriction, that's the other thing that comes up a lot is actual restraints, right? We know that when people are in a restraint, that can really increase the risk of delirium, right? So what's the hospital's sort of take on restraints here?
That's a great question, because we're doing a lot of work right now as a team. So we're really trying to make sure that frontline staff, specifically nurses, are really educated on recording behaviors, and that allowing us to meet as a team and be able to come up with some really comprehensive behavior plans. And that's a little bit of new work that we're doing as a team.
That's exciting.
Because we feel like the better record that we have of behaviors and what's worked or hasn't worked for that patient, we don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. Everyone's on the same page, and in that way we're able to reduce the use of restraints.
Right. And if we prevent delirium, we also prevent disability.
Absolutely. Right?
So people who don't get a delirium are more likely to go home rather than to a long-term care home or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the work that we're doing with Constance, which is a person that might be with somebody at bedside if they're experiencing some behaviors, but really getting them fully engaged to walk the patient and do more than be kind of a bodyguard, but really be engaged with them and stimulating them on an ongoing basis. We're also doing work within that as well.
So a constant is someone who's constantly there.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, I think you guys have really helped to underline the importance of World Delirium Day. So, if you were watching this around World Delirium Day of March 11th, or really any time, then think about delirium when your family member comes into hospital, and think about what you can do.
Yeah,
to
bring
help
in
them.
Pictures. We really like when people bring in their own clothes, and we really try to make an environment that's as close to home as possible. So that means coming in lots to visit and bringing some of the key things that they're used to having.
Yeah. Someday I hope people can bring their pets.
Would not be lovely.
You could probably sneak a goldfish in. Don't.